Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. If only we were as happy as this dog chasing his toy. He's a good listener. Merry Christmas. Good morning. I would like to give you a disclaimer at the top of this coffee talk that it may be triggering for some of you, because I think we're going to get to the root of a lot of interesting behavior, a lot of decisions that we make. It is the Friday before, the last Friday before Christmas, I guess, Christmas Eve. So Christmas is in like 9 days. Some of you are ready and you've been ready since Thanksgiving. Some of you haven't even started. Some of you are like me and you've got gifts hidden all over your house, but nothing is wrapped. Michael burned the elves. So now Charlie's not sure what she believes anymore, which is just effing great. Go to Jersey and your husband lights the fucking elves on fire. Move your speaker away from your zipper. Okay. Hopefully that's better. So I am back in Birmingham. I'm going to finish my walk and I've got to run to Walmart. Full disclosure, true story, I have never shopped in a Walmart. There just has never been one close to where I live. Target is always closer. But I need an ugly Christmas sweater for Olivia. It's got to be dropped off this morning. And Target is out. So I'm going to try Walmart. Jay, your zipper is rubbing on your speaker. Okay, well, I'm hoping that pulling it up. Your microphone is rubbing on the speaker. Okay. Is there a way I can lower my microphone? I don't know how to do this. Now I'm like super close to you guys. So, anywho, he put the elves on the chandelier and their faces were up against the bulbs. And the bulbs burned their faces and literally burned Elfie's, the girl elf's face off, like a hole right through her face. So Michael's like, we have to go buy new elves. I'm like, this is the third set of elves. Like, what the F? But like, I guess, she believes and, So anyway, Michael said something really interesting last night, which by the way is like probably not appropriate for me to share, but I think it's still very interesting to what we're going to talk about on Coffee Talk. And again, remember, this might be triggering for some people, but it's really got me thinking about emotional needs. When you write a character in a movie or television, you have to create a character that people care about. You have to be able, the viewer has to understand the emotional needs of the character. Walter White in Breaking Bad is not a good person. He's literally making meth and selling it. But in understanding why he does it, in understanding that he's a desperate man dying of cancer who wants to take care of his disabled son and his wife after feeling like he's contributed nothing significant to them, and his emotional need is to matter and to leave them with something. He needs to feel like he matters, like he has done something for them. Now, we, as rational people, are not going to make meth in our garage and sell it to leave a legacy for our family, but we understand the emotional need of Walter White. If you watch The Sopranos, you don't love that Tony Soprano is a killer, or that he has a family of henchmen who do organized crime for him, but you understand his emotional need to maintain order and responsibility and take over his father's legacy. You understand his complicated relationship with his uncle, and that he's just a human being grappling with this life he's been given, and anxiety. When he goes to see a therapist, it's like so relatable and ironic. And there's an emotional need in that character that we connect to, right? We don't condone the behavior, but we understand the emotional need. And last night, after the kids went to bed, I had showered, I went into the bedroom. Michael came in, he was going to shower because he had played golf, and to be honest, he stank. And I called him into the bed, and I was like, just give me 5 minutes of your time. Now, typically, he won't balk at that. A quickie, fine. Who doesn't want a quickie? You've been gone for a week or 4 days, and you're home now, and I need to shower, and I still haven't eaten dinner, and sure. And he kind of said something along the lines of, no, if we're going to do it, let's do it proper. And I was like, and I understood, well, not in the moment necessarily. So of course I was like, okay, who doesn't love a proper shag? I do. I'm nothing if not proper, right? But what it got me thinking about this morning was, what was his character's emotional need, right? Did he really want to put off taking a shower 30 minutes? No, I'm sure he didn't. Did he really want to wait another 30 minutes to eat dinner? No, I'm quite sure he did not. It was already late. But he had an emotional need in that moment that prompted him to not say to me, I feel disconnected from you and I've been missing you, or it makes me feel good as a man when we can do these things the right way. Whatever the emotional need was, he didn't say what his emotional need was. He just asked for what he wanted. And I think it's so interesting if we can look for the character in our lives, their emotional needs, because it will better help us understand our emotional needs. I'm going to give you some extreme examples. And I know you're going to be like, okay, please don't try to rationalize them because they're sociopaths. And in a lot of ways, there are people who are just sociopaths, but hear me out. If you look at, say, Stalin, Napoleon, Bonaparte, the joke is that he's, you have a Napoleon complex. He was very short, and he was made fun of that, his whole life. So to rise in the ranks of anything is significant to an emotional need to be seen as big and powerful, to go to war, to win wars. Look how fast this person is driving. Literally. It's 15 in our development and they do 60. It's insane. Like, I've already seen like 80 animals get clobbered. The emotional need. If you look at Adolf Hitler and the studies that have been done on him, his mother being a woman of the night and him seeing men come in and out and not knowing who his father was and being rejected from art school and being told he wasn't good enough and that he wouldn't amount to anything, that he wasn't smart. Certainly not making excuses for Adolf Hitler, but what I'm talking about is his emotional need. When he saw an emotional fracturing of a country and was able to sell them on Make Germany Great Again. I mean, that sounds great. Who doesn't want to do that? And once he wanted to prove his emotional need was that he was intellectual and that he could master plan. That was his emotional need. He needed to prove to himself that he was capable, right? I don't think he really wanted to make Germany great again. In fact, he wasn't even German. I don't think he really gave a shit, right? And clearly he's a fucking murderous sociopath, prick face, shit face. But my point is, I'm using extreme examples so you can understand how, like, people they suppress their emotional need. So I'm going to give you my own example, okay? So right now, I'm going to give you the numbers only so you can understand. But this is the truth about my emotional need. Right now, I'm 133 pounds. That is 3 pounds over my mental comfort space, okay? What does that mean? It means that my eating disorder idles around 130. When I get over that, it gets very loud and very destructive. It talks down to me. It belittles me. It becomes the voice of my mother. Okay? You're too fat to be in pictures. You don't have the same self-worth at that number. And it's my emotional need to prove that I am worthy and that I can control my eating and that I can control all of that to get to the number that I have created that is the number of worth. It is my emotional need to prove to my mother that she was wrong. Now, it proves nothing to my mother. My mother's not even in my life right now. My eating disorder, unfortunately, is a Jamie thing at this point. It has nothing to do with her. Now, sure, did she start the race? Absolutely. But did I allow it to continue? Do I allow it to continue? Does it still control me? 100%. My emotional need is to be the thin, to prove that I could be the thin, worthy, pretty one. It's like Little Women in my house. It was like all girls for so long. And everybody was, the marrying kind, except for me, I felt. Ironically, I have the best marriage. But, okay, that's a stretch. All marriages suck. But someone married me, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But it's an emotional need. Why is my nose so itchy? Am I going to come into money or am I going to fist fight? What I don't know. If we truly understood our emotional need, right? Like, let's use meeting for lunch with friends. Okay? Meeting for lunch with friends. You have plans to go to lunch. Everybody in that group has a different emotional need for that meeting. One girl may just want respect. She wants to be seen with the cool crowd. She wants just to be included. She wants the picture. You know, there's always the one that's like, we got to get a picture because she has to post it on Facebook right away so everybody knows she's included, right? So one girl may just want the respect. Another girl may be going because she's in desperate need of fellowship. She feels alone. She's having a hard time connecting with her husband, or all she does is talk about kids. And she needs fellowship. Her emotional need for the lunch is fellowship. That's why she's going. Then someone else could be going because they self-care. They haven't prioritized themselves at all. They're dealing with some anxiety. They say no to a lot of things. And for this lunch, they're determined to show up. They're going to make some time for themselves and be okay with it. And they're going to get dressed and show up. And their emotional need is, I deserve this. I'm going to allow myself this outing, right? That is a different emotional need than the girl who goes to everything and takes pictures of every party on Facebook. She's the most social person you've ever met in your life. She's everywhere all the time, invited to everything and photographs everything. Those are very different emotional needs, right? So let's say the lunch gets canceled. Everybody has a different reaction to that canceling because everybody has a different emotional need. The woman who was looking forward to fellowship is going to feel disappointed because she hasn't been out in so long and she was so looking forward to a glass of wine and conversation with her girlfriends. The girl who wants respect and sort of fame for that, right, is going to be disappointed and will probably find a way to use last year's picture, post it again and be like, hate that we had to cancel this year. Damn COVID. But look at my beautiful friends. Don't forget I'm invited to everything. We know her, right? The woman who, you know, was sort of using it to prove to herself that she could get up and get out. Or, you know, maybe will feel like, see, this is why I don't go anywhere. This is why I don't get excited about anything. Because they probably canceled because they didn't really want me to go anyway. Or they're probably all going without me. Right? So there's always a different emotional need. And it is in understanding our emotional needs for why we do what we do and feel what we feel and need what we need it's a level of honesty that will serve us in making good decisions for us, right? Like Walter White in Breaking Bad, he is literally Breaking Bad. He's bad. He becomes bad to serve his emotional need. Okay, Tony actually wants to go good. He starts bad and wants to go good. He loves his family, not just Carmela and the kids, but he loves Paulie and He hates what happened with Christopher and Adriana, like the whole thing. He wants to go good, but in the end, he has to serve the emotional need, which is, I have to lead this family. Walter White starts good, gets dealt a bunch of shitty hands, and goes bad. And in the end, it becomes about so much more than leaving a legacy for his family. So, look, I share this with you because I'm going right now through a bit of a hard time. Not hard time, but like, I don't function well at 1:33. I do not. And there is no message you can send me or sweet words you can share with me, although I do appreciate it. If an eating disorder could go away with a sweet comment on social media, I promise you mine would have been gone a long time ago. Watch out, Knox. The truth is, I have to work through it myself, and I don't know that I ever will. It's just a part of me, like it or not. And I don't function well at this weight. I just don't. So I will do what I have to do to get down. I will, in mostly healthy ways. One thing I will say about me is I do have mostly healthy ways of doing things. I don't throw up. I don't walk more and things like that. But my Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi in this house is a joke. Like, honestly, I hate it. But anyway, I think my point of this is try to understand the emotional need behind the decision, behind the reaction, behind the words, behind the tears, behind whatever. Like, what is the person in your life really asking for? What are they really saying? Because if you can identify emotional need in the characters in your life, it'll help you identify your own. Okay, I love you so much. Have a great, great day.